from Santa Monica, California. This is day one of the GE 5th Annual Boarding School Convention. I am here with a great partner of ours, Jason Tardy from Foxcroft Academy.
Thank you.
Jason, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Foxcroft Academy is located in central Maine. It's one of the most beautiful parts of our country. Can you talk to us a little bit about why Maine? There's a million places to go in the U.S.
Sure.
Why would international students love to go to Maine?
Yeah, so first off, we're the northernmost state in New England. New England's kind of the birthplace of boarding schools in the U.S. It's really where boarding school got its start. So we've got access to a lot of great colleges and universities along the New England coastline. But Maine specifically, you said it, it's one of the most beautiful states in the United States. And if a family were interested in sending their kids to the U.S., if they were to do a quick search to see where safety is, they'd find that Maine is in the top 3 safest states in the United States. Oftentimes number 1, depends on the survey or the poll, but right there along with New Hampshire and Vermont. So it's a beautiful, safe place for kids to be kids. Actually, I noticed just the other day, we were listed as having the most trees of any state in the United States. Wow. So, it's a beautiful environment for kids to learn and to pursue their education, so.
And for a student who wanted to have a little bit of that nature, that quiet, that peace, but didn't want to be too far out there?
Sure.
Can you talk to me about Foxcroft and the access you have to some big cities?
Yeah. So, one of the best things about being in the state of Maine is our motto is the way life should be. So it is a little bit quieter and things move at a little bit slower pace. So it does allow students to focus on their academics, focus on becoming the best student version of themselves that they can be. But along with that, we know, because we've been doing it for 200 years, that a bored teenager is going to get into trouble. So we know to keep them busy. And the way we keep them busy is through clubs and activities, sports offerings, music offerings. But then also we have, within 40 minutes of the school is a little larger city where kids can go in and can get their fill of being in a more a busier environment, and then come back to the safety of the school and all the activities that we have more control of and can allow for them to participate in.
Gotcha. Jason's been in the industry for quite some time. You're an assistant head of school. You've had various roles.
Yeah.
You're a well-known person in the industry. You've traveled all over the world.
I have.
What are some things that you have learned even about U.S. boarding schools, competing with UK boarding schools, competing with Australia boarding schools? What makes us unique? What's the pitch of US boarding schools?
Sure. I think first and foremost is our access to colleges and universities in the United States. It's much easier for a student to get accepted and access those universities through a high school program in the US. So that gives us the lead. Yeah. Interestingly enough, the universities and colleges here in the States are still desired throughout the world. So, and I've learned that's what's happening. Even though things have changed over the last few years, I know in the UK they had an increase in taxes, and so that became their cost went up. Our cost has remained relatively the same. Australia still pulls a lot of students from Asia. Just because of proximity. Right. But with access through airfare, we're not that far away anymore. Right. And social media has connected parents and kids a lot closer than they ever used to be before. So it's not as scary to send kids all the way across the world to the U.S. As much as it used to be. So, I still think that we're a desired product. Yeah. Parents want their kids to have a U.S. education and access to the universities beyond the high schools.
What markets do you think U.S. boarding schools haven't tapped into? Or what markets over the next 5 years are you looking to try to get into?
Yeah. I think that, so recently we've been starting to travel to Africa. Okay. A lot of African nations are starting to show an interest in sending students abroad as well. A little tricky right now because of the changing dynamics in the U.S. as far as immigration and visas and such. But, ultimately, our educational products are still extremely valued. I think we only get better. All of our schools get better at teaching kids. So, I think the value is still there once parents can understand that we're going to take care of their kids once they get them to us. And, the concerns of of immigration and visa, you know, once we get over those humps, things are great.
Yeah.
Things are great. As far as, Africa, and then, you know, I think, you know, it's just little pockets here and there. A few years ago, Spain started to send a lot of kids abroad, you know, and they became a hot area for students. And, you know, now I'm feeling a push from Brazil, which is interesting, you know, to see if they're going to start sending their kids abroad more. So.
What do you think the challenges boarding schools will face over the next 5 to 10 years? You know, we hear all this stuff, declining population.
Yeah.
We have some political issues in our country, visa issues. You hear all these birds chirping. What do you think are the real challenges that independent boarding schools are going to face?
Yeah, I think, you know, those immigration challenges have been there, and they fluctuate throughout time. I think the cutting edge right now is AI, is technology. And I think it's all schools, whether they're boarding private schools or public schools, need to address how is AI going to inform or change how we're teaching kids. And I think everybody's grappling with that because it's here. You know, it's moving warp speed forward, and we need to figure out how to teach kids how to use this as a tool without losing their own ability to think. And that's going to be the challenge that we all face is how to integrate AI into our instruction.
Do you think it's going to hit our industry?
Without a doubt. Yeah, I think what'll happen is, you know, we're never going to replace the value of human interaction. And the care that we can give to parents and the empathy and the support. But what they're going to be able to do is fairly quickly get 10 cultivated, curated schools that might fit what their interest is and pull that in. And then to be able to make a choice between those 10 schools that is informed by, you know, human interaction. So, yeah, I think it will.
Jason Tardy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Foxcroft Academy, Central Maine, one of our great school partners.